Hello and welcome back to the video on the Football Zone and to another weekend preview. Previewing all the Premier League and Championship action this weekend, starting off in the Premier League with Watford v Liverpool. And yeah, this is an interesting one. Obviously, the last time these two teams met, Watford beat Liverpool 3-0 in that crazy game. However, I can't see a repeat happening this time. And Watford, change of manager, I really don't get that decision, I'm not going to lie. And Liverpool just look so strong at the moment, I can only see this going one way. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on now, Southampton host Leeds at St Mary's. And yeah, this is an interesting game. I wouldn't say either side has really got off to the best start of the season. And to be honest, Leeds in 16th, Southampton in 17th. So yeah, I think both teams will be looking for a win here. I think both teams will see this as a winnable game. Yeah, but I don't think there's a lot to separate these two sides, which is why I am going to go for a draw, and I'm going to say it's going to finish 1-1. Moving on, Norwich host Brighton at Carroll Road, and yeah, at the beginning of the season I would have said this is a game where Norwich would have really been targeting to pick up 3 points. But as we've seen so far this season, Brighton have just been outstanding. Really solid start. So yeah, I think they'll definitely fancy their chances for this one. Against the Norwich side, I had high hopes for them this season, but it's just kind of gone like every Norwich Premier League season. So I can see Brighton getting a win here. I'm going to say 2-1. Moving on, Villa host Wolves at Villa Park. And yeah, this is an interesting one. Villa in 10th, Wolves in 12th. Yeah, both sides have got off to an okay start to the season. I think, yeah, both about adapting to them. Villa for new players, Wolves for the new manager, of course. And yeah, both teams, I think they're solid mid-table teams, but I do think Villa just have a tiny bit more than Wolves, which is why I'm going to give Villa a 1-0 win here. Moving on then to a game that I'm looking forward to, Leicester v Manchester United. Manchester United obviously weren't on the best run of form before the break, so yeah, they really needed that break. Leicester in 13th, yeah, really bad start to the season for them, definitely expected a lot more, so yeah, they need to pick it up a bit after this break, but this is a tough one for them. However, I can't see United picking up the win either. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Moving on, Manchester City host Burnley at the Etihad Stadium. City, yeah, pretty solid week, I would say, before the break. Obviously, with those 3 really hard games. But, you know, they did okay. Burnley, though, just 3 points so far this season. They've been really struggling here. So, yeah, you'd think this is a nice first game back for City here. It should be a comfortable win, and I do think they will win comfortably. I'm going to say 4-0. Moving on, Brentford host Chelsea at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford, yeah, what start to the season they've had. 7th, 2-1 win over West Ham last time out. Chelsea, they're top of the league. So they've obviously had a great start to the season as well. But yeah, it's all really about keeping up with Liverpool and Man City. And yeah, even with how well Brentford are playing, this is the sort of game they have to win. I think they will. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on, Everton host West Ham at Goodson Park in a game that I'm really looking forward to. West Ham obviously suffered disappointment, but just before the international break with that last minute loss to Brentford. But except for that, yeah, they've had a pretty decent start to the season. Everton in 5th. Definitely above expectation for them as well. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'll be a close game, but I think home advantage will give Everton the edge. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on, Newcastle host Tottenham at St James's Park in the first game since Newcastle's takeover. And yeah, I think this will be a great game. Normally I'd say a Tottenham win here, even though they're not that great at the moment. But yeah, I just think with the takeover, that would just give Newcastle a massive boost here, and it could easily translate onto the pitch, which is why I think it will be a much closer game than people expect, and I think Newcastle will be able to nab a result here. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on, Arsenal host Crystal Palace at the Emirates, and yeah, this is an interesting one. Arsenal obviously picked up massively before the break, but could only get a draw at Brighton last time out, but you know, they're still looking a lot better. Yeah, Crystal Palace in 14th, and they look really good. especially in the second half last time out against Leicester. So I have a lot of confidence from that. They're slowly getting better, Crystal Palace. But I do think Arsenal will have a bit too much quality here. I'm going to say a 2-0 home win. Moving on now to the Championship, and we're starting off with a Midlands derby, West Brom against Birmingham. And yeah, West Brom, they kind of had a bit of a sticky patch last time out, but yeah, there's nothing major to worry about, I would say. I still think they're looking good. Against the Birmingham side, down in the 16th, thought they were really picking up, but last break was terrible, so they really do need to step it up a bit, and confident they will do eventually, but I think West Brom will be comfortable winners here. I just think that it's so good. Break will do them good. Moving on, Fulham host QPR. In the side, neither of those two had a great time in between the last two international breaks. They'll definitely be looking to recover from that. QPR were starting to do that last time out. Fulham still a bit shaky. So yeah, they'll want to recover from that as soon as possible, and I think they will. I think that has slightly too much quality for QPR, but expecting it to be a close and entertaining game, I will say a 2-1 Fulham win. Moving on, Forest host Blackpool at the City Ground, and yeah, this is an interesting one. Both of them had a pretty decent spells last time out. Forest obviously picking up massively since Steve Cooper's come in, and then Blackpool in 12th. I think that's a great start to the season for them. Hardly anyone would have had them that high, so they're doing really well. Steve Cooper's got Forest playing home advantage here. I do think they will have enough to pick up the win, which is why I'm going to say a 1-0. Millwall host Luton at the Den on Saturday, in the Championship, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Millwall, they started to improve before the break, up to 11th now. Luton, yes, still quite inconsistent, but I still think they've got a decent chance of launching a playoff push this year. So excited to see what they can do, really. In this game, I think it'll be a close one. But yeah, I do think it will be a draw, to be honest. Millwall are the draw specialist, so yeah, I'm going to say that. Moving on, Bristol City host Bournemouth at Ashton Gate. Bristol City in 9th. Obviously they're great away from home, but it's home form that's the problem. So yeah, they'll definitely be concerned going into this one against Bournemouth, the league leaders, who have been playing so well recently. So yeah, definitely expecting this one to be a bit of a tough one for Bristol City, if I'm honest. I think Bournemouth will have enough to get the job done, and that wait for a home win will go on. Moving on, Preston host Derby at Deepdale, and this is an interesting game. Preston, they're mid-table side, aren't they? In 18th, maybe roughly around where they'd expect. Derby, obviously that points deduction, but except for that, I think they've been done really, really well this season. Huge credit to Wayne Rooney. But yeah, I think this will be a tough game for them. Preston are a pretty solid Championship outfit, so I'm going to say a 1-0 win to Preston. Moving on to the Battle of the Boroughs, Middlesbrough against Peterborough. And yeah, this is a really interesting one. Peterborough, obviously, they just weren't looking good, were they, before the break? So yeah, they definitely need to step it up. Against the Middlesbrough side in 15th, they were looking really poor under Warnock as well. I'm kind of surprised Warnock hasn't gone during the break, but I do think they will get a winning start to this segment. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on, Blackburn host Coventry in a game that I'm really looking forward to at Ewood Park. Coventry, I thought they were going to go down a bit after that hammering they took 5-0, but obviously that win over Fulham 4-1, so impressive. They don't show any signs of letting up. Blackburn as well, they've had a pretty solid start to the season themselves, up in 8th place, and so really looking forward to this one. I think it'll be a close and even game, with the two sides levelling each other out. I'm going to say 1-1, but it could easily be a 2-2, 3-3, God knows what. Moving on, Huddersfield host Hull at John Smith Stadium, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Huddersfield in 7th exceeded all expectations so far. It's just about whether they can keep it going. Hull obviously got a massive win last time out, but still 21st in the table. They'll want more than that, undoubtedly. But yeah, I kind of feel it is about staying up for them, but I think Huddersfield might be too strong for them here. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on, Sheffield United host Stoke at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United in 14th. yeah, it's not been the ideal start to the season, has it, for them? But, still plenty of time for them to improve to a playoff place, where Stoke are at the moment 4th. They've had a really solid start to the season, still with Tyrese Campbell's come back. So yeah, they'll be confident. But Sheffield United, I think they're so good. This will be a close game. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Moving on then to Madacey Stadium, Reading host Barnsley. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. Reading, solid 1-0 win away at Cardiff last time out, if not a bit fortuitous. So they'll come into this one with lots of confidence against the Barnsley side, who've been really bad recently. Marcus Klopp, I'm surprised he's survived the break, to be honest, because they were just looking awful. I can see Reading taking full advantage of it. I'm going to say a 2-0 at home win. And finally, Swansea host Cardiff at the Liberty Stadium, and Swansea in 19th, Cardiff in 20th. It's not been the ideal start for either of these sides. So yeah, they'll be hoping for a Derby Day win can really start their season. Mick McCarthy's another manager who I'm surprised has survived the break, really, with the form they were on. Swansea, I think they are surely but slowly improving. And I do think they will convert a win here. I'm going to say 1-0. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe related for the daily football news, and subscribe to my channel and I'd greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.